Hello everybody and welcome to Vaidya's Chess Hub, and today we are going to go for a game on leeches in the classical time control. Well, let's see if we have a decent opponent. Well, 5 plus 18 will not my genre, and 5 plus 45, what's up? 20 plus 10 will be a little too much. 15 plus 15 or 30 plus 0 is fine. 15 plus 15, oh, but this guy is 1700. Well, that's way below what we aim to play. 20 plus 10. How does that sound? Well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Our opponent is higher rated than us, and well, this is how I always gauge my opening. Last time as well, we played with the England Gambit. I am going to try that for the second time now. I believe last time was the first we tried, and this one here as well, one more time. Our opponent is rated 2061 and he has played about 3000 classical games. That's a huge experience. Guys, just look at this experience. He has played 3516 classical games. 3500 classical games. Wow, that is deep respect. That is deep respect. 23,000 rapid games. Well, if at all anything, I must honestly say there are things for me to learn from him here. Look at this, guys. 23,000 rapid games. Whoa. Really? 23,000 rapid games. That's something. That is absolutely something. And well, he is hugely experienced. Hugely. Shall I play bishop b7 here? The point of bishop d7 is that I will definitely avoid the pawn doubling. And if I castle, will he give that bishop so early? Yeah, let's play bishop d7. Just postpone castling for one move. If he does that, I'm doing that. And if it takes on c6, I'm happy to take back. We'll part with the bishop. He is castled, I will castle. So far, he is a pawn up, which is a typical feature of the England Gambit. Nothing special here. And that bishop has moved for the second time. I'm not sure that that is the main line. I'm 100% sure that isn't exactly how things are supposed to be. Okay, so is there any sacrifice involved here? I doubt. Well, I think if I go here, if he takes, the pawn is here, so this won't work. Yep, this pin is ultra important, and that's fine. Now if bishop b5, then knight goes to e5, so that's not a big issue here. I'm going to extend that pin for sure. Remains to be seen if he goes for g4. Well, he is not going for g4, which is strange. Under these situations or circumstances, should I drop the bishop back? I will put the queen on to the e file and get the rook on d file. That's what we probably want to play. The time is evenly matched. What we will take a long time to match with our opponent is the experience. I'm still absolutely shocked with the number of rapid games. Is the country mentioned now? His country is not mentioned, guys. Phenomenal. 23,000 rapid games, 3,000 classical games, and only 600 blitz games. Well, that's a surprise. No bullets, no hypha bullets. So this guy typically believes in playing slow games. Nothing bullet, nothing in the bullet, nothing in the hypha bullet, nothing in that region. And now I have this idea of putting this rook on the d file. The idea of this England Gambit, I've always said, is that we want to make the queen uncomfortable. That's a typical thing what we want to accomplish. That's a very important thing. We want to definitely accomplish that. Okay, so now let's see what we have here. We can go for this pin, or maybe even better put this rook also on the e file. I am not happy with his position here. His pieces are crammed. 100% not what you would want. If I do this, is going to play this pawn, most probably, just to shoo this bishop away. And well, at the moment I think rook is the only good move here. My position, at least I can with challenge say this, that at the moment black's position is better here so far. Thank you, Swaroop. Swaroop is with us. Well, he played c3 nonetheless. That's amazing. He played c3 nonetheless. I didn't play bishop b4, but he still has gone for it. Okay, so what can we hope to accomplish here? We can go for this exchange now. We can also go for this bishop, aiming for this diagonal. I don't want to take the knight here and go for the checkmate threat because his knight can capture back. So that's not in what we want. We definitely don't want to exchange pieces here because our pieces are active, his pieces are doing nothing. Probably the idea is to go b3 and put the bishop on a fianchetto. Maybe. What's the weakness in his camp? I think this is the weakness. So most probably he was worried about knight b4 and stuff because this is the weakness he has. A typical weakness. I think we can go for a flank move here because I don't see any logic otherwise of any other move. We don't want to exchange pieces, so this will only help him. Won't that help him? Yeah, I think that helps him. We don't want that, and then the knight goes back and more pieces are exchanged. So at the moment we can just go for a move like a6. Let's see what he has in mind. I'm just stopping bishop b5. I'm going for flank moves, maybe just to stop this bishop. If I play knight e4, it's going to exchange. Something that I don't want at this stage of the game because we have an active position. Purvesh is the early leader, followed by Parth. Ooh, that's the update I've received about the tournament. Now he wants to exchange. Should I exchange the bishop? Should I go for the knight? Well, I think I can go for the knight here. The idea is I'll go for the knight. He has to take here because otherwise I have c2. So I can go for the knight. He has to take either way. And then I can drop the bishop back. That sounds great. That does incredibly sound great. So this is called initiative and tempo. 100%. He will have to take first. Otherwise I have knight c2. Yeah, let's do that. Otherwise knight c2. Parth lost to Avnish when he had 4. Oh, noted. Absolutely noted. As we had thought. He's definitely had to take here first. And now we can go for this. I think first what we will do is drop the bishop back. We don't want to exchange here. We simply don't want to exchange. This queen is very uncomfortable. No breathing space for the bishop. That's probably the advantage. Okay, so the knight has now come back to where it was. Now, isn't that a good square then for our knight? It's an excellent square, right? Even this looks pretty good at the moment. But if he doesn't take, then the movement will be restricted for our bishop if I put the pawn on c5. So I think, how about this move here? Still go for the c2? Because the point is over here, he doesn't have this move and there is no c pawn. The more I think about it, the more I like this move. So now my plan is to do this with the help of the bishop as well. Rupak is the early leader, defeated Prajna. That's nice. Rupak is playing well these days. Even a couple of weeks ago, he was the one to really put up a decent fight against all players. And in fact, he finished on the podium a couple of times. Rupak is doing well. I'm very, very happy here. And what I'm also happy for the moment, at least, is we are putting a very nice fight against our opponent. Now, he has probably stopped this, or so he thinks. But I can play the bishop. Yes, I can certainly play the bishop. And then take back with the knight. Can I not do that? Is this possible, guys? Is this possible? Is this possible? He takes and I take the piece back, the doubled pawn, or simply b5 is better, I think. Yeah, b5 is better. His position is really cramped. I want to utilize the fact that his position is cramped. Knight f4 probably I thought, but then, well, there's no real problem. We will solve his problems. We don't want that. We absolutely don't want that. And b5 stops bishop c4 ideas. I don't want this bishop over here. So we are just blocking all the squares where he could possibly go. Queen f6 is equally good here. And now my knight has an excellent square to jump to. It's a hole. At the moment I can't play there though, of course, but obviously. I could push c5 here myself. I could play queen f6 here, lining up. Queen f6, h6, h6 does stop this. Queen f6 looks strong. Looks, I'm saying, not necessary. Yes, Rupak is indeed playing well. Guys, definitely he's playing well. The more I look at this, the more I like. But I think I'm going to go for h6 here. Just giving my bishop a shelter square. Stopping any ideas with either later the bishop coming on g5 and also the knight coming on g5. Let's see what he does here. He's definitely begging for space. Not offering it to him yet. No space, please. Oh, Avdut, I feel sad. Because of 2 points, you are not able to play the tournament. But that also means that you are definitely above 1200. So that's a sense of satisfaction. You should always climb up the ladder. So I'm happy for you. Prajna had 5 minutes on the clock when she lost. It's really sad. Okay, so now what? Queen f6. Surely now queen f6 is good, right? This bishop and pawn is just too good. No problem there. What about c5 right now? He takes, I will take. I'm not interested in that yet. Now my rook is lining up. And he doesn't have this g5 square now. Namish is playing very fast. So for a pawn, I think we have enough compensation in the England gambit. What say, guys? What's your opinion? Let me know. For a pawn that we sacrifice, well, in Danish gambit, we sacrifice 2 pawns. So in the England gambit, we sacrifice on e5, but get a pretty decent playable position against a very experienced player. It is, my pleasure to be playing with this particular guy. This is just amazing. Well, isn't that a blunder? Isn't this just a blunder? Bishop h to check. I'm winning the rook. Guys, surely that's a blunder, right? By our opponent. Well, so check. I'm winning a rook here. Well, 100%. He's made a mistake here. Now, whether he takes with the knight or with the king, it doesn't really matter. I'm winning this rook. It's a check. Just when I was praising my opponent, I think he can resign here because he now knows that he's playing against someone who's using time. He's contemplating his position and thinking about the resignation. OMG. That's why queen f6 is good. I always thought that he wanted to double up the rook or something, but I don't know. So we are winning the exchange here. And again, I would say that our position is just too good here. So we have recovered our pawn and now we have the exchange that we can boast about with the rook lining up against the queen. I'm totally happy with this position. Okay, I think this is bad as well. There are reasons why I'm saying that because of this. So the knight is pinned and my next move is f6. Yep. Okay, so he's gone back. I have really no idea about what he's... And now f6 will be a blunder. Knight takes bishop. Will be a blunder now. The question is, do we want to give our bishop? We definitely protected that all the way so far. Is it not? Do we want to drop it back and then play f6? Do we want to play bishop f5? Bishop e4, he just has this. By the way, that's nice to provoke. Very nice to provoke. Because then this square for our knight will be so juicy. I'm telling you, plus it weakens e3. Bishop e4, then I go back to h7 if required. For the moment, just drop back to h7. I'm happy with that. Because he has no scope here. So the point of this is we have recovered the lost pawn, rather the sacrificed pawn. We played a gambit, we got the exchange. While his position is still absolutely passive, look at this dark colored bishop. It's almost jailed by itself. It is almost jailed by itself. It's incredibly hilarious. Now I have a plan here. I can win this pawn. If I play f6, the first move is this. Then I play h5, kick the knight out. And then I take here. That works, doesn't it? I play f6. Where's the knight going? Where is the knight going? If I play f6. He doesn't have this, guys. I'm playing here. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have this. So he goes back. Then I push h5. Then the knight goes. And I'll take on e3, I suppose. I have very little to complain about this game, I must say. Thank you for your observations about using time. Avdut, compliment from you is important for someone who understands usage of time. For the second time now, our opponent is thinking maybe he's lost here. Clearly, the knight has nowhere to go, and I'm pushing the knight one more time for sure. And then I'm winning it here. The pin on the bishop is heavy. Although I must say he has this sacrifice, maybe I'm saying. It's an important thing to watch out for, guys. Yeah, so the thing that I'm going to watch out for, guys, is that if I do this and knight goes here, if I take, he takes and I take, the important thing is he may just sacrifice with bishop c4 and then our rook is hanging there. It's one of the things for sure. We have to keep a watch. We have to watch those things. Yeah, guys, this is nice calculation. If I play this, this knight's going back, or maybe here, doesn't matter where. Then I take on e3, then he takes, and then when I take here, he has got bishop c4 check. But then hang on, can I not defend the rook coming back here? No, I can't, because then the bishop and the rook will be attacking while the queen will be defending it. Okay. Guys, this is an important calculation. He will win the exchange back. So let's go with the king to h8. That's a very important calculation. Kalyani making blunders, not using time. Noted, guys. Now after this, surely it's going to be h5 because now he doesn't have the sacrifice. He doesn't have that sacrifice anymore. And if he tries to defend it like this, then definitely that's going to be bad. I suppose now we have this move. Pawn is pinned. Losing everything everywhere. I can't take here because of the rook and the queen support. This pawn is pinned, I agree, but he's got a lot of support there. I think definitely g5 looks good here. Yeah, it does look good there. What about first playing h5? Where is the knight going? One of the two squares. Why not? And then we can push g5, right? Surely we can do that. No, some Jay is saying it doesn't get messages. What? Really? After the knight moves, by the way, the bishop will be attacking the pawn. So let's stay away from that for the moment. This pawn is pinned, by the way. And there is every reason for me to believe in that square. Also then h5 and h4. h5, h4 wins the pawn chain, initiative and tempo. And if queen f3, then there is bishop e4. A lot of calculation here. The king will be weakened, there is no doubt about it. Now he has this. Yeah. I'm going to put it here. Mind you, this knight is very oddly placed, doesn't have this. Queen doesn't have this. Position at the moment is equal. Rajna has lost 3 games in a row. Really? 3 games in a row. Whoa. I should probably be focusing on the game, which is the usual thing that happens whenever there is concentration on the tournament. Yes, the game goes haywire, and especially against a strong opponent that we have here today. Nice. He's attacking the rook. But I think now, if I take here, that's a fork. He has to take. I take. What does he have? Guys, what does he have? Let's calculate this one more time. If I take here, it's a fork. He's looking for this check. This rook is not moving. If he takes, I take with this rook. Or do I still go ahead and execute this plan? I think most probably I should do that. Let's stick to this. Aha, draw offered. Alright, who is that oversmart fellow? Also now, how about this, guys? Why don't we exchange? Yeah, I'm wondering, why don't we exchange? Because he wants to go here. Lots to calculate. Just wants to go here, maybe. Let's finish this process anyway. Third game, Prajna won. Now I'm confused. People are saying Prajna lost 3 games. Here I get to listen with Prajna has won the third game. Now I'm confused. I knew that. You always wanted to play the queen there. So knight, and then rook attacking everything, everywhere, as I say. And also the rook, by the way, plain and simple. Queen. Will this work? Yeah. This should work, right? Ooh, what was that? I think the only way, this is not possible. This is not possible. The only way is this. Yep. The only way is that. Sure, right. Can take with the king, right? Surely I can take with the king. Yep. So now it's plus 3 here. 3 pawns that is. I will take. I think we messed up with that pawn on h6. Pretty bad. The pawn on h6. 10 minutes for the business end. Thanks for the update, Jay. Okay. Oh no, I'll resign here. Now let's analyze this. Very bad. After this piece exchange, it's just still okay for black. Not even, oh, now it's 0. So it's one of the main lines. No, but surely bishop, we played well there. This is completely winning for black. Well, this was definitely, according to the computer, a very bad move. Because I told you that this h6 pawn that we blundered gave him +2. The plan of c5 was up to the mark. We were totally winning against the player, but yeah, sure, could have played better. Nonetheless, we are going to go ahead and do some tactics. I have time today till 6:55, in fact. Got to go for some Ganesha work. Let's start with some tactics. I will remove the notepad. The rating is 2420. And I suppose, well, let's show you the puzzles. Yeah, okay. We have +4 and +9. There is this -14 that we got last time. We blundered one position. And this is white to play. So your answers. Is it this move? Is it this move? Is it this move? Or is it this move? Yeah, sure. Or is it none of these? How much time should I concede? 2 minutes should be fine, I suppose. Make it 3 minutes. 3 minutes, guys. And it is white to play. Is it none of these here? One of those positions which is tricky. There is a discovered check by the rook for sure. Where? Or is it the pawn just going for this h4 and then h5? Or is it bishop being attacked by the king? Okay, we have some entries. Players are saying it's none of these. None of these. King d4, rook is trapped. Ooh, is that what it is? King d4, rook is trapped. Another candidate move I can suggest is rook d6. Is rook d6 a good move? Attacking the bishop, and then when the bishop moves, can be taken by the knight. Jai also why is Jai okay, Jai is above 1200. I suppose now he doesn't play the under 1200 tournament, right? Jai, are you supplying medicines? It looks like some white tablet. By the way, the England gambit does work. I'm not going to stop my try with it. It does work. Oh, now Soumitra is saying he recollects he's done this. Well, definitely king d4, and the rook has nowhere to go for sure. And d4 is a dark color square, so the bishop really has nothing to do. So none of these seems to be a popular idea here. None of these. Last 10 seconds. So rook takes e6, rook takes e6 check, giving us the exchange. Something that I remember was the case with our game, wasn't it? Yep, so let's do that. King d4, and then we win the exchange. Congratulations! So first position is out of the way. This is our second position. And who is the one to join us? Vaishali Raut. Hello, Vaishali Raut. I believe it's the ID being used, but might be someone else. The display picture is, I don't know, doesn't look like Vaishali. Anyway, welcome to our stream, and the choices, it's black to play here. For this one, it is black to play. And let me give you your choices. Is it the knight check? Is it the rook takes a4? Is it queen saving herself? But where? So let's hypothetically give you a square. Is it queen to e6, the multi-named arrow? Or is there a sacrifice? But where again? Let me give you a simple one. Let's say f6. Would that work? F6. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let's see what you guys make out of this position. Soumitra, since you say that you are done with it, I suggest that you don't give us the answer until the countdown. After the countdown, you're free to suggest or tell if you're done with this already. The others give it a thought. Soumitra says that he's done this position. Don't forget, our queen is under attack here. Okay, Ojas Raut. Okay, hello Ojas. So knight a2. So Ojas thinks that the green arrow is right. That reminds me, by the way, that you must participate in the Swiss tournament and join as soon as possible. Don't tell me on Friday that I've sent you a request, I'm not able to join. Don't wait until Friday. I put that message in the group yesterday itself, guys. Hello, Alan Thomas is here. So Alan, what arrow is right? What do you think? Green, blue, the multi-named arrow, or the golden arrow as we call it, a chrome arrow, or is it the red arrow, or is it none of these, something else totally? You got another minute and 20 seconds. Ojas, every Friday we play a Swiss League tournament on leeches. Do you have an idea on leeches, Ojas? Well, Jay, if you had done this, you should have waited. Jay is saying knight a2 check. It's a knight check, so king has to move. And king b2, queen b4. And then he's saying knight c6, rook takes c6. But why will he do that? Yes, so just if you have an idea on leeches, you need to be a part of the team Vaidya's Chess Hub. Vaidya Chess Hub is there on the leeches in the teams. You can join the tournament tomorrow starting at 6. Meanwhile, last 12 seconds. And after the countdown, maybe Soumitra can say Jay's line is right or not. Oh, he said it already. Okay. So Soumitra says the Jay's line is right. The green arrow makes sense. No doubt about the check by the knight is always powerful. The simple reason is that the king has to move. But then let's look at it. The knight check, the king b2, and now you play the queen to b4, threatening rook takes a4, that's for sure. And then the queen is attacked, so we can take the knight. 2 out of 2. Let's go to the next one. It is white to play. Brilliant indeed. White to play. For this one, again, Soumitra, let me know if you have done this. Is it as simple as the knight takes c7, or is it one of those cases where we push the b4 pawn first, or is it the case where we play the knight to c3, or is it the case where we go ahead and play a move such as pawn push, or is it none of these? It's white to play. It's one of those, the music is from the YouTube library, man. It's from the free audio library that you have from on the YouTube. The puzzle rating for this one is 2439. Let's see what people say about this position. No, I don't recollect the name, buddy. I'll have to look in the file and then tell you. It's called Sabor Moreno. Sabor Moreno, that's what it says. Okay, down to now 1 minute and 40 seconds. Bhargav is the leader, followed by Namish and Rupak. All right. Rupak has probably slipped to the 3rd position. What happened? Maybe he lost some games. Because I was told he was at one stage leading, so. Great. Puzzle rating is 2489. Well, that's amazing. Oh, just very nice indeed. Ooh, Soumitra is saying he's done this one as well. And Alan is saying knight e. So you agree with the golden arrow, multi-named arrow. Knight c3, b5, knight takes b5. Well, why not bishop b6? After we play b4, why not bishop b6? Can that be... the golden arrow? If you play b5, knight c3, b5, he plays b5 of course, but why does he play b5? Is there no other calculation? The golden arrow, the chrome arrow, Sagar is also supporting the chrome arrow here. Last 20 seconds. Time is up, and now it is time to contemplate. I think that the golden arrow is the move because the queen is attacking the knight. Oh, now what, guys? Whenever this thing happens, you have to tell me. He didn't play b5, he's playing c6. Now what? Guys, now what? Clearly, he's not doing what you said. Now what? Yellow arrow is fine, but now what? He's not played b5, he's played c6. Very important. So do we take here and he takes, and then we give a check and win this? Bishop as well, because it will be a fork. We use the golden arrow. So queen takes and pawn takes and queen check, winning the bishop. Is that the idea? So that seems to be the idea. Soumitra also thinks it is the same. That's when I showed it. Do you agree with that? I think I'm going to go with that. And success. Oh, he didn't even go for it. Well, I thought he will make us try all of this. So we have completed the hat trick. Let's continue. So this one is white to play. And let me give you the arrows. So is it bishop b2 check? Is that simple? Or is it the queen d4 check? Is it the queen c3 check? Or is it bishop takes the blue arrow? I think I'll give you 2 minutes for this, not 3 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes for this. Two, 4, 5, 0 is the rating, and you get this position. I'm surprised. I am an unrated player, Ojas. Queen d4 check. Well, okay, there is a difference. What about the difference, Alan? What is the difference between queen check and the bishop check? See for yourself. What is the difference between the green arrow and the red arrow? Alan, you said queen d4 check. What's the difference between the two? Fantastic, Ojas. Ojas has a FIDE rating of 2050. Fantastic. That is brilliant. Fantastic. Fantastic indeed. Fantastic, Ojas. We are happy to have you with us. 2050 is awesome. So, okay, Alan has understood that this is not going to work with the queen check. Let me show you the quick difference. The quick difference is that if you give the queen check, then queen doesn't control g8. When you give the check with the bishop, well, then what happens is that the bishop and the queen make this particular pattern, which is very famous. So success. And the next one is again white to play. Here are your arrows now. So for this one, are we interested in playing the knight f5? Are we interested in a sacrifice? Are we interested in playing the rook exchange? Or are we interested in playing the bishop f5? Ooh, that's nice. Again, I'll give you 3 minutes for this. So, Mitra, let me know if you are done with this. Ojas, If your rating is that much, well, I have no doubt that you must have come across this position previously. Have you? Yes, we have reached 935. 936 is good. Thank you so much. For subscribing, Ojas. That's brilliant. So, have you done this position? And by the way, what tournament are you now going to play online considering this COVID-19 situation, Ojas? So, Soumitra says he's not going to answer. Maybe Soumitra has done this previously. And now Vihang says it's none of these. Bishop e5. He thinks that there is a skewer. So is that right, guys? Bishop e5 is a skewer. Are you interested in going for that? With the help of the knight? Are we winning that? Oh, Vihang is saying I have done this. And now Alan is also supporting bishop b5. Even if rook takes e1 is not a check, otherwise that would not have worked. So rook takes e1 is not a check. So for two rooks, or maybe no, for a rook. Queen for a rook, that's not bad. Okay, thematic games. What's that like? So, what was the last thematic kind of tournament where you played? Or just interested in knowing what are thematic games? You only play thematic games. Would like to know more for sure. More support coming in for the skewer. Bishop b5. Everybody's going bishop b5. So clearly bishop b5. Then there's rook e1. Then there's bishop takes d7. Rook takes f1. Check maybe. That's how you do that. Last 12 seconds or so. How old are you, Ojas? Because you are using the ID as Vaishali Raut. So are you still just a school boy? How old are you? Okay, let's go for bishop b5. And the queen has just gone back. So I am interested in knowing now. What do you do? Do you first take the rook and give your knight? Or first do you take with the rook and give a check? What do you do, guys? Very important. It's 15. Okay, magnificent. Okay, now what, guys? You have to tell me now what. It's very important. The skewer idea was right, but now queen c8. So what happens then? So bishop takes e8. Bishop takes e8. And then are you okay with the pawn taking the knight? The material count is 2 rooks and 2 minor pieces. Really? So Vihan, you can definitely take some inspiration and post this COVID thing. Yes, we do have a WhatsApp group, Ojas. And Ojas, you can definitely play tomorrow's tournament that we are playing on Leeches. If you have time, that is. It will start at 6 o'clock. So people are still with the bishop e8. But what about the knight that we will lose? People are okay with that? Okay. And success. This is now going to be the last one, guys, for today. As I said, we have time only to got some Ganesha festivities going on, so there is some work. So this is our last position. Now this one is black to play. And here are your options. Let me give you your options. Is it bishop takes c3? Is it b5? Is it rook d2? Or is it bishop sacrifice? Or is it none of these? Let me know again. This is interesting. In fact, I'll reduce the time to 3 minutes is fine. Last position, guys, last position. Soumitra so far attempted every position that we have got so far. He's saying I have played this already. Okay. Vihang has suggested that the blue arrow works for him. Has he shared a line? Yeah, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, b6, bishop takes b6, and then the bishop will be pinned. Alan is saying b6 should be first, then bishop takes b6, and then bishop takes c3. So there is a fundamental difference. Some people are saying b6 should be played first. Okay. And Alan's answer is none of these. He's saying b6 should be played first. Very interesting when there is a clash of opinion, because then there's a point to prove. Who is the winner of the tournament, or at least who are the guys on the podium? Seniors, let me know please. Jay, the pairings must have closed for sure. I agree. Parth Warang has joined already. Parth, what happened about the tournament? Please update me, Parth. Avdut. Tanaji Patel is Avdut. b6, well, bishop takes b6, then bishop takes c3, or bishop takes c3 first. And by the way, if that happens, after b6 he has bishop b8. Have you calculated bishop b8, guys? Last 18 seconds, 17 seconds. After bishop takes c3, b takes c3, you play b6, he has bishop b8, right? What about bishop b8 move? So Soumitra is not with Vihang. Soumitra is saying b6 should be played first. Attack the bishop. So Alan is saying my answer is right. Soumitra is supporting that. Vihang, do you want to change side? Ojas, what do you think here? Last position. Let's get it right and stop. Hello, Hemant. Hemant is with us. Hemant 1483, big hello. But this is our last position. Maybe you've just joined in a little too late. Hemant 1483, where are you from? Congratulations, Bhargav. Namish and Rupak, kudos you guys. Very good. Rupak is consistent, he's the third. So yeah, let's go with the b6 idea here in our position. b6 first. Okay, now bishop is definitely taken. So now it's bishop takes c3 here. And the computer did not do that because after pawn takes, you have rook b7, which is pinning the bishop and winning it on the spot. Magnificent, absolutely magnificent. It was pleasure bringing you all this. Well, we had a good game also that we played. Unfortunately, we blundered with the h6 pawn. Otherwise, we completely had a winning game against a very experienced player today. We will meet tomorrow. The session for tomorrow is going to be for the A batch. Would bring interesting games to study tomorrow, 4 of them. And yes, b6 was the right answer. Oh, we are too late to change. I showed you the answer, man, already. Thank you so much for joining. Or just if you have time, you can join us tomorrow. We are going to go through some study games tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock. Congratulations to the winners and take good care. We will meet each other tomorrow.